right, good morning everybody. Trish and I are here for another episode
at Treasures and Creations.
We're located at 3419 South State Street here in Salt Lake
City, Utah. Not everybody knows where Salt Lake is.
Okay, all right. So yes, we're in Utah. Anyway, our phone number is 801-679-1717. And how can they get a hold of us on the internet?
We're on Facebook, Treasures, the letter N, Creations. You can find us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, and we are also on Etsy. All of that information is on our Facebook page. That's a good place to follow us. You can also give us a call or message us. We can put the links on this movie, video, show, program, whatever you want to call it. This thing.
We've actually shipped to 9 different countries around the world. We ship all over the United States. And the reason we're telling you this is because we're going to show you in the next couple of episodes some very cool pieces that people can use in many different ways, and so you might want us to ship to you. All right, so we're very successful at shipping, and now I'm going to let Trish show you what she's doing.
So does that make me an official shipper?
I guess so.
Okay, today we're going to talk about small stuff for starters, which is why he handed it over to me. He's big stuff, I'm little stuff. Makes sense, right? So we're going to talk about an array of tumbled stones. This is one side. We will get to see the other side. So I want to talk for just a minute about tumbled stones. So tumbled stones can come in any kind of a variety. I have this whole side and the other side. Now what you would use tumbled stones for, and what it is they break up the stone, the rock, the mineral, the crystal, and then they throw it in a tumbler and it tumbles for weeks on end and comes out nice and polished and pretty. So it's very finished and they're beautiful. So what people will use these for most often is they're great pocket stones. I may or may not have some in my pocket, I'll never tell. Women will use them as brocket stones. If you don't know what a brocket is, that's that pocket you make out of your bra, hence brocket. I don't know if men stick them in their underwear, but I suppose that's an option. You can also use them if you're creating a crystal grid. These are really great when you make a crystal grid because they're small, and if you're traveling and just want to make a portable grid to set up while you're there, tumbled stones are a great way to go, and they all have metaphysical properties. Now, I could spend hours on end picking up each stone, telling you what it is and its properties, but quite frankly, that would bore me to tears. So I'm not going to do that. If you want to come in the store, we can do it in person. So what we are going to do is I'm just going to pick up a few of the different varieties. And I'm also going to show you that with my tumbled stone, there are things that are not tumbled, such as these beautiful chunks of, this is rough rose quartz. Okay, so now there's 2 words that people use when a stone hasn't been polished, finished, or tumbled. A lot of times they'll say it's raw. Meat is raw, stones are rough. Rough just simply means it came out of the ground, it's been chunked up, it hasn't been polished, it hasn't been tumbled, it hasn't had any work to it other than it's just a chunk of stone.
It's been cleaned.
It's been cleaned. A lot of people prefer the rough variety. A lot of people feel that there's more energy in it, better energy in it. What I've learned is that this comes down to a personal thing. If you were to ask me, I'd have to say, what's your experience? Now, if I get a tumbled piece of rose quartz and this rough rose quartz, they may feel different to me and they may not. And so it's a very personal thing. That's something that you get to discern for yourself. Now, rose quartz, while I have this in my hand, these beautiful chunks are great. You can put them in your flower beds, outside. These are actually, I've seen where they've made like a little rock wall or a rock fence. You can make a permanent grid in your yard with them. So they have tons of uses, even just to sit in the windowsill. They're beautiful. So they have lots of great uses. But as you can see on this side, we have a huge variety of tumbled stone. Another thing that we also have is what we call the party pack. Now what the party pack is, it's a kg of palm stones or gallets, gallet, however you choose to say it. And the reason that we call it a party pack is a lot of times, a lot of metaphysical people will get together, they'll have a gathering, and they want to give everybody some kind of a rock or a stone. So these make a very beautiful gift. These are great meditation stones, and they're also great. Some people will use palm stones in a grid. However you choose to use it. They may be a little bit big to put in your pocket, but I suppose there are those that might. These are good in your pocket. So it's all up to you. It becomes a very personal thing what you want to do with them. But we have several varieties of what we call our party bag. And these are also great if you have grandchildren that like rocks. You can give them to them, or your kids or neighbor kids.
They're big enough not to swallow.
Yeah, they're big enough not to swallow. That's a good point, Rodney. Not that I have a habit of eating rocks, but with little children, sometimes they stick everything in their mouth. So we want to be sure that they're not going to choke. So these are really fun. We have them in rose quartz, carnelian, all kinds of stones. Jace, you'll get some great pictures. We'll show you up close what we have on those. And something else we have on this rack are selenite wands. These are large selenite wands. These are rough selenite. They haven't been polished. And selenite is actually a gypsum material. And selenite is great for clearing the negative energy out of all your stones. So it's a good one. You could set it in the middle of a table and put all your crystals around it, lay your pendants across it. And this size of a wand is really good because you can wand your friends when they come in the door and be sure all that negative energy is gone. So that way you'll have a great time and nobody
or you can
will
put
be
one up
negative.
above the door jamb.
And a lot of people will do that. They put it right above their door. They put it on the door jamb. So when people come in, you know how you go to the airport and the TSA, this is a CSA, a crystal scanning agency. So we have fun with what we do. But selenite is a great tool to work with. It's really an awesome tool to clear the negative energy from your stones. Because as you wear a pendant, it's going to collect negative energy. It's going to collect the energy that's around you as well as from you. And throughout the day, if you're like most people, your emotions are kind of go all over the place depending on the circumstances, whatever you're doing, whoever you're talking to. So it's always good to lay your pendants and bracelets and rings on selenite at night to clear them. Okay, so just to continue on with a few really cool things that we have. And on with our tumbled, which is all tumbled and polished. So when a stone is polished, it's done on a different machine and sometimes even by hand, and they actually polish the stone. A tumbled stone, they'll take the chunk of rough rock, they'll throw it in a tumbler, and it rolls around with grit and other materials, and Rodney knows a lot more about that than I do. I just like to ooh and ah the finished product. But it smooths the surface and puts a really nice shine on it, and it really brings out the colors.
Okay, so just real quick, it usually takes about 6 weeks depending on the process. The gentleman that we work with, his name is Larry at Rock and Robin, and what they do is a 6-week process. And once a week he takes the solution out, washes them all off, and changes the grit that she talked about. So it's very, as it goes, it's very harsh grit the first week, all the way to a kind of like sandpaper, heavy grit to a light grit, so that by the time you're done with 6 weeks, it looks like you polished it. Okay, and then something else that I wanted to talk about real quick. Sometimes it looks like this, and this is a better.
Are rough.
Now these are called rough. These are actually crystals. This is a ruby crystal, a natural ruby crystal from India. And what you see on here is called matrix. It's still in the matrix. And It's not a pretty ruby like you see when you put it on your finger, because those are gem quality. This is a natural crystal. When you put it under a black light, it does pop red. It comes out really nice red for you. But there's so many different ones.
These are delicious.
But I just wanted to talk about this is called rough or natural, and Trish is going to tell you about some more. I just wanted to talk about a couple things real quick.
So just to show you the difference during that process, in this hand here I have some 60 million year old Colombian amber. Now we have a friend that's from Colombia, and he actually owns the mine. And in his tumbling process, he does not use petroleum with his amber. I'm going to tout our amber here for a minute. Got a motorcycle gang going by. Memorial Day weekend drive, yeehaw! Okay, and so this has not been tumbled for 6 weeks. It's probably halfway, because I know a lot of times you'll see amber and it's bright and shiny like this. So it depends on where you want your rocks as to how long you tumbled it.
Well,
I
as
have
that
some
amber you're talking about, to get that really polished look, they do polish it. They don't just tumble it. He tumbles this just so that it's clean.
right, and then he tumbles the pendants that we have are tumbled a little bit more.
Right, but the stuff he polishes,
Right.
that stuff's expensive.
Okay, and then I do have, this is some magic glass that we have. This is beautiful magic glass, and you can see it looks frosted. And that's because it wasn't tumbled as long. I was over to Larry's and he had a pile of it. I said, ooh, magic glass. So we have magic glass here, and it'll provide some lovely magic in your life. I just don't know what that looks like at the moment. Okay, so we also have some different rough stones here. One of the things that we have is this pink calcite from Afghanistan. And this is really cool because it looks tumbled or polished, but it's not. When they clean it, they'll clean it generally with like a muriatic acid solution, and it puts this kind of waxy, soapy finish on it that it just does naturally. And then I can cut this and it'll just continue to have that kind of a finish. And Rodney has a very special light he wants to...
Wait! You
Well,
keep
you gotta
talking,
show
I'm
how this
charging.
glows.
Oh.
So this is the cool thing about pink calcite, is it does glow under black light. So yeah, we may play with flashlights, you know, it's fun. All right, and so we do have some rough aquamarine, and this is not what I would call a gemmy quality. You wouldn't make jewelry out of it. You can make a really nice pendant if you want like a rough stone. This aquamarine energetically is beautiful. This would be great for a pocket, for a medicine bag, for an altarpiece, or even for making a pendant out of. Go ahead.
Some people like, this is bismuth, okay? This is natural bismuth pyrite, which means basically
Ecuador.
it's got different colors in it. And you can't see it so well right now, but when they melt this down and they end up making the bismuth that everybody sees, that's the geometric shapes. But this is natural. A lot of people like the natural, and so you'll see that we have a couple of shelves full of different natural rocks, crystals, or minerals. This is actually a metal, okay? Some people just like it. This is tiger eye, and this is what it looks like when you just break it up, and it hasn't been tumbled, okay? Some people just prefer, they call it natural, rough, natural, same difference. Now I've got something in my hand and I can't pronounce the name of it. How do you say it?
Yamanchu.
How do you say that?
Yamanchu.
Yamanchu.
Sure.
Okay, so you can see it glows. Okay, now the real stuff, this is man-made. The real stuff, if you had a piece about this big by about that wide, would cost you about $5,000. This stuff's really rare. It comes out of China. And so they make, for people that don't want to spend $5,000 for a little piece, they make a man-made version and it'll glow in the dark for you. It's fun, kids love it, right?
So these are actually polished. This is a really nice quality of it. We call it a modern Yamanchu. Now a lot of people will buy these. They'll do them when they're doing different types of medicine ceremonies. They use them, or they use them at raves. They use them just camping or whatever, because they're fun. They glow in the dark. I mean, who doesn't like stuff that glows in the dark, you know?
And then another really fun toy, if I can get them out of here. Give me a couple more.
Oh, sure. They're rattlesnake eggs.
Okay. There isn't a kid around that doesn't like to play with magnets. Okay? And I'm a big kid. I love to play with magnets. I've played with them my whole life. And they'll do some really weird stuff for you. So when kids come into the shop, they'll play with these magnets.
Look at, they're just fun. You can do all, I can have a big smile.
So anyway, as you can see, we try to have a little bit of a lot of different things for people. And so the tumbled, the rough, the natural, whatever you want to call it. And then Trish has some geodes. Little kids love geodes.
These are really cool. These are little amethyst geodes. They're very natural. They've just opened them up and you can see little tiny amethyst crystals in them. These are actually kind of a blast because they're already open, but you can see what the inside of a geode is like. And the little crystals in there are so pretty. These are awesome. They're really fun for kids of all ages. I'd say all sizes, but I get confused in that group a lot. So.
All right, so, you know, I mean, we even have little ones. We have, I don't know if you can see these or not.
These little tiny crystals are really good that when people do wire wrapping or some type of wrapping, these make great little pendants. Things like this are also good for medicine bags and altars. You could put that safely in your pocket or wherever else you'd like to put it.
So if you ever get the chance to come into this store, we are in Salt Lake. And if you want to fly in to see us, tell us where you flew in from, and maybe we'll make you a special deal.
We also do virtual appointments. So if you call the shop number or message us on Facebook, we can set up a virtual appointment. And what we do is we call you up and we do a FaceTime, walk around the store, show you whatever it is you want to look at, and we can talk about it so you can see individual pieces. All right, we're going to show you the flip side and show you some more tumbled stones. All right, so now we're on the other side of the moon or the tumbled stones, whichever you choose. We got lots of really cool stuff here. This is something new that I brought back from Tucson. This is called a zebra marble.
And the camera.
It's brown, and it's really different because I've never seen a brown zebra, but I guess if that's what they want to call it, I'm okay with it. Okay, so something else that we have here that I got while we were in Tucson is this is African citrine. And these are really cool because these are just a tumbled pieces. And then they'll take points and they'll tumble the points. And these make beautiful pendants. So this is African citrine. It is natural.
Explain what a point is. It's a crystal. These are actually crystals, and when she says points, the reason that they tumble...
It has a termination. It has a natural termination, a point, an end, a faceted end.
Most people would think of this as a crystal, and very seldom does anybody ever tumble a crystal. But these weren't perfect crystals, so somebody decided to tumble them, and people fell in love with them. You can see,
they're awesome.
You can see this has some sides on it, and it has some ends on it.
It's naturally faceted. That's how it actually forms in the ground.
Right, and so then they tumbled it, and it's kind of a new product, and people are falling in love with it because very few people have it, and it makes great pendants. So the people we call rappers, because they...
Oh, not that kind of wrapper?
Not that kind of wrapper.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about this kind of wrapper, okay? All right, so... I don't think I have anything on. I don't. I'm naked.
Oh dear. You sure it's not in your underwear?
I better put something on.
All right, so another fun product is Goldstone. This is man-made. It is a glass, but glass that's made from silica sand, which is a gazillion little teensy-weensy, itsy-bitsy not seen by the naked eye quartz crystals. So therefore, it's actually a crystal. But what they do is they take copper and they recrystallize it so that they can work with the little flakes. And it gives this a real bling. And that's what people like about goldstone is it's like, ooh, and in the sun it just goes, woo. So it's an awesome stone. So we have it in blue, we have it in green,
and we have it in gold.
And
Guess
we have
what?
it in gold
This was the
stone.
original color. It's got the copper color to it. Okay, that's how it got the name goldstone. But it seems silly to green, red, purple, yellow. They all call it goldstone. I have no idea why. It's a process. This is goldstone.
So another thing that we have that's quite cool is this is Montana agate, also known as dendritic agate. And reason why is it has these little things in it called dendrites. And what dendrites are these little kind of plant-looking things in there, like a little piece of seaweed or something. But this agate is out of Montana, and it is polished. As you can see that he's taken these bits of this Montana agate and thrown it in his tumbler. We get these from our rock combo. Oh, wow. That'd make a cool pendant, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, actually, all of these would. So get your pendant supplies here. So with the wrappers. Okay, all right. Onward and upward. We have a wide variety of all kinds of stones. We have stones for every chakra. Rodney has his
Here's a
fistful.
perfect example. Okay, so in my left hand is natural kyanite blades, they call these, okay?
It's blue kyanite.
It's blue kyanite, and people love this to make wrap. They wrap them really well. And guess what? Here's some tumbled, and this is some beautiful tumbled. It's the same stone, but this is what it looks like tumbled. And so some people like the really smooth look, and some people like the natural
The rough look.
Oh, natural.
Now, if you're going to carry kyanite in your pocket, this one has a tendency to kind of, in its rough state, to kind of flake off a little bit. So if you want to carry blue kyanite in your pocket,
These are
it would
better.
be a little wiser to carry something that's polished. It's going to hold together better. But again, it's up to you and personal preference. All right, and then moving along, then we come along to I have a variety of different types of bracelets. Everything from some really cool $5 bracelets that are just, made out of hemp and that. And then I have our chakra chip bracelets. These are cool. Keychains. Oh, I've got stuff. Then there's these. These are really cool. And this comes in a variety, and these are just what they call pebble bracelets. And these are on a really durable elastic, and there are those people that choose to wear 900 bracelets. Not me, because I'd be doing this. But they're cool. They're awesome bracelets. Each one has its own energy, and we do have these in a variety of stones. This is just too much energy for me today. I may have to leave that hematite on. In fact, I think I will.
So as you can see, when we were over on the other side and when we're on this side, there's lots of colors. And Trish likes to put them in colors, in groups of colors, because they'll say, oh, I want something green. Okay, well, over here's green. I want something peach. Guess what? Here's an apricot. This is called apricot agate. Isn't that a cool color?
The color scheme works good until you get to right here. Because everything from here over and all of these, other than Larry's agates, we brought back from Tucson, and they're stones that I haven't had in the shop before. So these are kind of new to the shop, and they've been very successful, and they're very awesome stones. We like to get things we've never had before. I get stones like, this is some tumbled lion skin. And this looks, if you didn't know, you may look at it and go, oh, it's like a petersite, but it's not. It is similar. It is from Africa. It's kind of if you were to throw tiger eye and petersite together, this is what you would get. It is there's a word for it. I can't remember it at the moment. It's a scientific term, type of tiger eye, emulsified maybe? I don't know, I'd have to look it up. But it's called lion skin, and it's really pretty. So it's pretty awesome. So we've got a cool variety of lots of neat stuff. And then we also have some massage wands.
Now these are external massage wands.
We do have to have a clarifier, simply because some stones are not meant to go places. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Use your imagination. So
these are definitely, there's only certain types of stone or crystal that you might trust yourself to do internally. Okay, but these are external. Be very choosy if you want to use something internally. Ladies, be very choosy.
So how you would use, come over here, give me your arm. I'm going to beat you up.
Okay, and for those of you that are going to work with a non-professional massage person, you might want to get some of this hematite and protect yourself.
Oh, the dreaded non-massage person. So the proper way that I have been shown to use a massage wand that's this shape is you would first roll the muscle out, kind of like rolling it on dough, you know, it's a little rolling pin. Yeah, I'm probably not holding that right, but that's okay, it works. So after you've rolled it out and just kind of allowed the muscle to relax, you would start, you know, like I said, you don't want to start with this end. That can be very painful. However, if I had a bone to pick with them, I would start and dig deep. But at the moment, I don't.
This is why you go to professional massage people and not to somebody that might be holding a grudge.
So it's also to hold a massage wand when you're going to use one of the ends. You don't want to hold it like a pencil, because then you're focusing energy in these spots and your wand can actually fractionate and break. Fractionate's my own word, I made it up. Anyway, you get the point. So you would hold it like this so there's an even distribution of energy. So then you would very gently just start with that wide end and just kind of rubbing and massaging that muscle, allowing it to relax. And then once you've got that muscle good and relaxed so you can get to the point of where the ache is, then very gently you would work with this. And that's going to get rid of the trigger point for what's causing that muscle to bind up. Okay, don't come to me for a professional massage. I'm sure it would feel lovely.
Remember, just in case, you can always order one of these to protect yourself.
But we do have massage wands in many types of stones. And a lot of people, when they're doing a massage, I'll get there. It's going to depend on what you're creating. Like the one that I had, this is a gold calcite or a yellow calcite out of Peru. Calcite is very calming, so it's a good stone to work with. And if you find that the person you're working with is having a lot of emotion going on, the color yellow is really good. So no, you don't have to get the perfect stone for the perfect thing. However, it does assist when you're working with both energy and massage. It's good to know your stones. So something else that's used in massage are these, what they call massage stones. Now, the reason that they call them massage stones, let me see your arm. I'm about to,
oh no, here we go.
I'm going to stone you. They're flat on one side, so they'll just sit. And so they're really good when you're working. You can just leave the stones there. You can go by color. You can put them on the part of the body that would go with the chakra. I'm not going to stick that on that chakra. And a lot of people will heat them up, and then they can do the hot stone.
Don't get them too hot.
So I have a friend, we won't mention his name, and I had some of these that had a lot of hematite in them. Now, hematite is a metal. And he said, oh, these would be great massage stones. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, these would be great for doing heated massage. And I'm like, Jaden, hematite's a metal. Yeah, they'd heat up great.
You just said you were going to call him by name.
How funny. Oops. I made that name up. Anyway, he just, he thought, well, that'd be really cool because metal, they'd get nice and hot. It's like, yeah, you're going to brand them. So he quickly realized that probably wasn't a great idea. So if you choose to do a heated massage with stones, please, please, please be sure there's no hematite in them.
Also, it's better just to warm them. Picking them up like that, they feel cold. If you're trying to massage somebody with something cold, it doesn't work real well. They're just looking to warm them up a little bit so they're more comfortable to use.
Yes.
It's not about how hot can this person take. That doesn't work when it comes to massage.
Oh, that sounds like a fun game. Let's try that on you. Just kidding. Okay, so then we've got lots of other cool stuff here. This is all tumbled stone. Over here we have more different types of stones. We have some really cool little stone crosses. We have angels. We have hearts, and more hearts. I have root beer, calcite, bronzite, onyx, all kinds of little hearts. Everybody likes hearts. And we have spheres. I have calcite, angelite, mixed stones, all different kinds of crystal. This one is called green strawberry quartz. It actually comes out of Russia.
These are emerald hearts from Colombia.
And they're beautiful. They're really nice. So they all have their own energy. And these are a great size. Again, anything small, tiny like this. This is good to put in a medicine bag. You can put it in your pocket, brocket, however it works for you. Also good altar pieces. The bumblebee jasper. Hearts are also really good in crystal grids. So you get the energy of the bumblebee jasper, and then being the heart shape, it's created in love, which is always beautiful. Oh, thank you. He gave me his heart. So this is labradorite. We both love labradorite and the magic of it. Labradorite has a great flash. I've got a bowl of some really cool labradorite hearts. Ooh, This is orthoceras. This is red orthoceras. Now this is out of Morocco. Now what orthoceras is I believe it's a seagoing fossil. So what this is, all the white in here are little fossils of creatures that were in the ground in Morocco.
In the ocean, dear.
Well, it ended up in the ground because that's sediment. The fossils that got grounded. Anyway, that's out of Morocco.
We even have some green kyanite, which is really unusual. This is just gorgeous. And you don't find green kyanite. Usually green kyanite is in little tiny shards. And in this case,
it had a lot of quartz with it, so they were able to actually
polish it and make it look really nice. So, as you can see here, we just have a whole lot.
Look at these! These are little baby Oco Ocho geodes from Mexico. And these are really cool because they're, sparkly inside. And what a lot of people will do is they'll take these and slice them, and then they'll make pendants. But these are cool just by themselves. So I got a bunch of those. So we got all kinds of stuff. And stop spinning that. You're going to make me dizzy. Let's come over here now. I have some really cool bags. Will you stay over there? I got this.
We're limited to, then move closer to the camera.
All right, so we have these really great bags, and these are really cool because you can throw them on your shoulder, you can crossbody them, but you can carry lots of rocks in here. Hey, this is a lucky bag. It has a penny in it. Buy your bag here. It comes with pennies. I would put that one back in there. But these bags are really awesome. They have a zipper in them. They close up. These are great. They can carry lots of stuff.
Talk about your wood products down there too.
I have wood products down here. I have turtles and bowls. Why don't you talk about them? I'm on bags. You can put your wooden turtle in the bag and take it with you. Everybody wants to take their pet wooden turtle. And then we have these. These are hip bags because, as you know, fanny bags are out of style. But this is a hip bag, so you look really hip wearing your hip bag. But these are cool because they have multi-pockets with zippers. And they have, this one has a zipper here. And then in here, more pockets. And then you have in the back your secret pocket. So you put your money in here, and then you put your rocks here. So it's really cool. Nobody wants to go anywhere without their crystals. Trust me, I know. I don't go anywhere without my crystals. So some of the other cool things we have is we have a really good variety of tapestries. And these are big tapestries. They're awesome. And they come in many different pictures on them. And Rodney has one of our Thai Buddhas.
So we have Buddhas of different types. There's the Happy Buddha. We've got a couple of those Happy Buddhas. And these are Thai Buddhas, and they have different mudras. Mudras, is that how you say it?
The way the hand is, yes, mudra.
It's called mudra.
Yes.
So they're in different poses, basically, is what I'm telling you. Okay.
So we also have shawls, so you can look absolutely marvelous, whatever party or festival you go to, or out on date night. And if it gets a little windy or rainy, you can put it over your head. And these shawls are beautiful. They're a silk-cotton combination. And they have these beautiful yarn embroidery on them and these embellishments. So they'll get the fabric, and we get these from our Nepali buddies. And they take these to the Nepali women, and they do the embellishments and they do the embroidery on them. So they have a very special energy, but these are beautiful shawls. I mean, I look, what, 19? Of course, yes, thank you. All right, so that's just another one of the many awesome things that we have. I'll fold that later. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about another item we have, which is pendulums. A lot of people think, ooh, pendulums. Pendulums can be used for a plethora of things, and there's several ways to use a pendulum. But I'm going to just show you. We'll have a demonstration by Rodney, and then I'll show you our different variety of pendulum. Rodney's going to show you the Rodney way to use a pendulum.
I personally like to do it. Some people prefer to not put a hand below it, but some people prefer to just hold it like this and say, please show me yes. Okay. Please show me no. It's easier to see when you do this because I've got energy on both ends of it. So I can hold it here and I can go, hello. Please show me yes. Let's get excited. Show me a big yes. Come on. Show me a bigger one. There we go. Okay. Now, thank you. Please show me no. Show me a big no. Give me a big one. There we go. Okay. That's how some people do it. I'm going to let Trish tell you the rest.
So the basics of a pendulum are you're going to ask it yes or no questions. Energy healers will also use these to find blockages in the chakras, different points of the body where there may be something going on that's not functioning, not working, that could be working differently. So these can be very powerful tools. And the style of pendulum is totally up to you. The stone is totally up to you. There's no good, bad, right, wrong, or other. It's what speaks to you. So we have a pretty good variety of pendulums that go anywhere from $10 to $20. You can start out with just a simple...
Isn't this in 25?
$10 to $25. Thank you for that. You can start out with just a simple $10 pendulum. They're always gonna usually, because I have one that doesn't. They're usually going to come with some type of a chain. And the $10 pendulums, you're just going to have your basic stones. They're nothing super fancy. However, to ask it a yes or no question, I don't really have to have fancy. And I myself have more than one pendulum. There's some days, some pendulums just don't really want to work with me. And another one will. And it has to do with the stone of the pendulum. It already knows what I'm going to ask it. Now, the way a pendulum works is it works with your own energy. So I can't hold this over him and ask questions for him. That's not how it works. I can hold it over him and say, is your solar plexus chakra clear? And it'll tell me yes or no. There's things like that. But I cannot ask the pendulum questions on Rodney's behalf because it works with your own energy. When I am in tune with somebody and working with their energy, then it's a different story. But as you can see here, we have tons of pendulums. We even have a Colombian emerald pendulum. We have really cool ones like this that have a pyramid and a point. And this one is really cool.
What we like about this one is you can actually, this one is set up to work with somebody else at the moment. We can actually disassemble it and change it so that the little stones are flipped. There we go. This allows us to change it from, are we working with ourselves or are we working with somebody? Usually, you know, if you're working to find out if you have blocked chakras or not, that's what Trish was explaining a minute ago. Now, so all I do is just turn it over.
And you can put just one plate on there. If you're working with one specific chakra, you'll put and these are actually natural stone, so you would put the chakra that goes, the stone on there that goes with that particular chakra.
I prefer to keep them all on there, but my wife does things different than I do, and that's what's great about rocks and crystals is everybody has a general idea of how something works, and then as the individual, how does it work for you? Like I showed you earlier when I was working with this. Now this is a Lemurian sphere, and there's only one place.
Lemurian quartz crystal.
Thank you. It's a sphere. And the best part about this one, there's only one person in the world that I know of that actually has them manufactured for them. And one of our friends introduced us so that we can get these beautiful pieces, and they are Lemurians. So those of you that like to work with Lemurian crystals, we do have Lemurian sphere crystal pendulums.
So some of them come with a chain that you can actually, it's on a lobster claw, so it actually unhooks, so you can put whatever kind of chain you want on it. And a lot of times what people will do is they'll make a pendant out of it, so you could put it on a necklace as well. Like this particular style here, this one doesn't come with a chain.
Hang on, I'll get
And it's stuck. This one doesn't come with a chain, so what we did is we just put the type of necklace on it that we put on a pendant. Because as you can see, you can wear it as a necklace. So then you have your pendulum with you. So this is pretty cool. And any one of these would make a nice necklace as well as a pendant. So we have quite a variety, and I know we're going to get some pictures on there. This one is pretty neat. It has the detachable chain. You've got a little quartz crystal sphere, and this is actually lapis. This is pretty cool. You've got the Buddha here, and then you've got a neat little Om at the top. And then you've got all your chakra beads here. Now one of the things
Some
is...
of them are like this one.
Yep, that one's really cool. It's got a Merkaba. Now when you get one like this, it has this really pretty chain. However, I found that for me, the longer chain, it takes a little bit longer for that energy to get down there. So I'll choke up on it so that the chain is shorter. However, a pendulum is a very personal item. You'll tune into it. You will know how to use it. And they're really kind of fun to work with. And there's so many things you can do with it. I don't know everything you can do with them, but I know a lot of people that do. So if that's something that interests you, get one and try it out.
So these are some of the new ones that we just brought back from our last trip to purchase when we went to Tucson. And this is becoming really popular because you have a pyramid, you have a point, you have the chakra colors.
Well, and then you have the circle. So you're pulling in the information, the data, the energy here. It's coming down.
You can't see through your hand here.
Oh. So you're bringing in the energy here. It's very focused energy. It's coming down through the circle, 360 degrees of connection into a pyramid, which is all about integration. So whatever it is that you're sending down through, it's either bringing it up and integrating it in, or you're sending it down and it's going to integrate it too. So that's a pretty cool pendulum. Okay, so along with that, we have some things that I call pendantulums. So it's basically a pendant that can be used as a pendulum. And they're over here on this tree that we're going to go take a look at now. All right, so I brought one of our pendant trees over. We have all kinds of pendants. Now, a pendulum doesn't really have to look a certain way. You can use all kinds of things as a pendulum. So some of the pendants that we brought back from Tucson, like this one here, we came up with the name pendantulum because this makes a beautiful pendulum as well as a beautiful pendant. And that comes in a few different stones. There's these here.
Grab one and I'm gonna
Hey, grab one. So these are really cool. These are kind of neat. They kind of remind me of like a Victorian style. This one has an amethyst crystal, and then this is green aventurine. But again, it's a beautiful pendant and makes a beautiful pendulum. Okay, and then we have this one also comes with the silver. You've got kind of the bronzy look here and silver here. And then there's these guys that are just little triangles. Beautiful pendants. Again, it can be used as a pendulum. And over here, there, the triangles in the back. Triangle. Remember that from Sesame Street? Triangle, triangle. Apparently I watched it. Okay, so these are these are really cool. So these are really neat. They have the amethyst third-eye crystal here, and then you have the triangle, so you can really focus the energy. Again, a beautiful pendant, or a pendulum, or both, however you choose. Okay, so like I say, you can even use the black tourmaline. It's all up to you. And then we got these, I don't have many left of these, I'm almost out. But these are really very pretty. They're really nice pendants, but again, those can also be used as a pendulum. So just know that a pendulum doesn't have to look a certain way. You don't have to run out and spend tons of money on a pendulum. I have them from $10 up. They're really great. They're fun to work with, and you can find a lot of great information just on the internet alone how to use a pendulum. We are going to be actually having a class here on how to use a pendulum, and that'll be very interesting because I know I will learn a lot because there's always more to learn, and that's one of the coolest things I learned is there's always more to learn. Yes?
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up today, and this is Rodney and Trish. We're here at Treasures and Creations. Again, we're located at 3419 South State Street in Salt Lake.
South Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay, so there's a North Salt Lake, there's a Salt Lake City, and there's the city of South Salt Lake. We're actually located in the city of South Salt Lake. Okay, just for your all information.
Perfect.
Are you happy?
Usually,
Okay,
yes.
so again, we ship worldwide. We ship around the United States. People come walking in the door. We have what we call here a healing center. We believe that if you choose to work with a stone or a crystal and it calms you, I've even had my doctor at the VA admit to me that if you can reduce your chaos, which reduces the stress in your body, it makes it easier for your body to do what it can to heal yourself. And as I started to say, my doctor at the VA, who spent 5 years on the, Navajo Nation down there, he and his wife were both doctors down there. They worked with the tribal doctor, who's called a shaman, by the way. Anyway, he admitted to me that, yes, it's true. By relieving the stress in the body does its best to heal itself, and therefore can help doctors in healing your body. If you need a doctor, go to the doctor. Okay? Always, if you need a doctor, go to the doctor. However, there are many things that these rocks and crystals can do. I do believe there's a supreme being. We're going to stick with the supreme being right now because I'm not going to get into religion. But I do believe that everything was made for a purpose, and these rocks and crystals have a purpose.
They're more than just pretty rocks and minerals that came from the ground. So our phone number here is 801-679-1717. And again, we'd love to do a virtual appointment with you if you're not in the local area, where we can FaceTime and you can tour the store and we can show you if you're looking for malachite or if you're looking for onyx, whatever it is you're looking for, and then I can show you individual pieces. This will just be, your own personal shopping. So keep that number and we can work on that and set up an appointment to do that
For
as
those
well.
of you that do visit Salt Lake City, make sure you check our schedule. We have some awesome card readers and energy workers and different people that come in to assist us for the people who come in and are looking for guidance. So we do an awful lot of different things here, and it's really cool. Come enjoy the energy. It's really cool. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.